Welcome to another RSR. Tonight we are reacting to the group stage and predicting the knockout stage of the CONMEBOL Copa América 2024. Reacciones de la fase de grupos y predicciones de la cuartos de final, semifinal y final de la CONMEBOL Copa América. 4 groups are finished. Today's the off day in between the rounds. And we'll be watching a Toronto game later today, of course. But July 4th, we start with the quarterfinals with Argentina playing, then Canada play, then 2 games on Saturday, which I'll be paying attention to, but it won't be a double. But with that being said, the groups are over. We're halfway through the tournament, pretty much. By numbers of games, I'm sure we already hit that already, but way before this point. But we're into the knockout stage, and it's been a ride when it's come to the group stage. It's been crazy. 5 of the teams that I thought would advance did advance in the end. 3 teams that I thought would advance did not. 2 of those teams was Group B. So the 2 teams I thought would be eliminated out of Group B end up advancing. And then, of course, well, the USA was the other one. But I didn't expect them to pull what they pulled, but we'll get there. Group A. First place, Argentina with 9 points. Canada with 4 points. Chile with 2. Peru with 1. Argentina and Canada advance. Argentina, of course, I'd say they struggled a bit throughout these first 3 games. It's funny, actually, the game they played without Messi was probably their best against Peru. Chile, it was a tight game. Canada, tight game. Argentina didn't really dominate anybody throughout this tournament in the group stage, but that's not where your money's made, and they know that because they only had to win 2 group stage games in Qatar, and they still won the damn World Cup. So I don't think it really means anything that Argentina were lackadaisical during the group stage. I don't think it means anything. Let's see how they play during the knockouts is my thing. Let's see how they play. If they still look mortal, I don't think they have a problem until they get to the final. Let's just be completely honest. I think they could look mortal throughout the tournament until the final and still make the damn final. They look mortal till the final, though. We'll talk about that later. But do I think they'll look as mortal during the knockout stages? No, not exactly. I don't think so. I think they just did the work they had to do. They had the mindset of, hey, we'll get this done. We won't lose, but we'll get the work done in some shape or form. Move on, get our points, move on. Canada with 4 points, a win and a draw. A win over Peru, a draw over Chile, of course a loss to Argentina, but a hard-fought loss that gained a lot of respect throughout the world for Canada under Jesse Marsch, especially plus the France result probably helped as well. But that was just a friendly, though. But Canada played a very tough group stage. They got kicked down a lot. It was a very, very unsurprising way of play, and they still figured it out. They still grouped 2 former CONMEBOL heavyweights, so to speak. A team who just won 2 Copas under 10 years ago, under a decade ago, 9 and 8 respectively, and Peru, who made the final in 2019. These have been 2 good teams historically, and they have not been grouped, and Canada goes and groups them. That's a win. I don't care how questionable it looked. That's a win. Chile, 3rd place, 2 points. 2 draws. 1 against Peru, 1 against Canada, and that means you gone. But they did not play well. They didn't score a goal at all. No goals. With Alexis Sanchez, Victor Davila, Valdez, Ben Brereton Diaz, no goals? Huh, crazy. Didn't expect that, to be honest. Peru, 1 point. They only drew Chile. Other than that, they lost to Canada, lost to Argentina. I don't think they scored a goal either, which it's not as crazy considering, I mean, Lapadula is their best player, but forward-wise, not really as much, to be honest. But Argentina, Canada advance. I had them both advancing, honestly, 1 and 2. And there you go. So that was right on the money. I think I did have Chile over Peru, if I remember correctly. But they still got eliminated. Does it matter where you get eliminated? I don't think so. Group B, first place, Venezuela. Venezuela gets 9 points. The first time they've ever been perfect at a Copa group stage. And damn it, they were good. Damn it, they were really good. They beat Ecuador 2-1. They beat Jamaica up when Jamaica had nothing to play for and Hall Grimson was basically halfway out the door. Then he completely went out the door after the game. And a 1-0 win over Mexico thanks to a Solomon Rondon penalty. You see where I'm going with this, right? Venezuela, perfect. 3 wins, no problem. Move on to the next round. Great games being played. They've been playing well. I'm not saying they're invincible. I'm not saying they're a titan, but they've been playing well. You can't sleep on them. You have to meet the moment against them. You can't sleep on them. Ecuador, 4 points, +1 goal differential. That matters. Mexico, 4 points, equal goal differential. Ecuador advances with a win over Jamaica and a draw over Mexico. Mexico had to win, and they bottled it, but they did, I think, play better in there on the brink moment than the USA did. They pushed the ball forward, they just couldn't score. It just didn't come. The USA played like punks, but we'll get there. Ecuador dominated Jamaica. Hincapi with an own goal. 2 other goals in the game. Late on, Jamaica basically gave that away while they were pushing forward. Of course, Ecuador lost to Venezuela down a man. They lost to Enter Valencia for the second game. Still beat Jamaica. And they did what they had to do when it came to the Mexico game. A draw would be enough for them. They got it, and Mexico just couldn't finish. And they advance. And then that means Ecuador advances. Mexico is eliminated, sitting on the couch. Jamaica was 0 points. I'm honestly very disappointed in Jamaica. I'm very disappointed. I expected better out of them, and it just wasn't the type of team that I expected to see play in this tournament. I did not have Venezuela and Ecuador going through. I was wrong about that. I had Mexico and Jamaica going through. They're the ones being eliminated. So 2 and 4. 2 and 4. Pretty much. Group C, Uruguay, 9 points. The first 2 games, they were dominant. The third one, they knew they were fine. Even with their goal differential, they weren't really worried about beating the USA that badly. They just wanted to get out with a result. And that's exactly what happened. The USA didn't push the opportunity. Idiots. They played like punks. Uruguay goes through. I had them winning the group. I think everybody did. Right about that. 3 and 2 when it comes to group stage predictions. At least what really matters. Second place, Panama, 6 points. A win over Bolivia. A win over the USA up a man. Fajardo gets the winner. And they beat the hell out of Bolivia 3-1 because of course they did. Acting like 1-1 would have mattered, Greg. That was pretty stupid. Speaking of, the USA finishes with 3 points, beating Bolivia 2-0. That should have been the first warning sign that something was afoot. You only beat Bolivia 2-0. And they had chances to score more. Let's just be honest. They did. They did. So they shot themselves in the foot. So that would mean 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 and 3 when it comes to my predictions. Panama, I did not have going through. But hey, good job. Good job to the Panamanians. USA, you're failures. Bolivia, 0 points. Because of course. Group D, Colombia, 7 points. 2 wins, 1 draw. They drew Brazil. They looked a little bit human in that match. They looked a little bit human, a little bit beatable. You know, they looked a little bit beatable against Brazil. They beat Costa Rica, Paraguay. Colombia did. 2-1 over Paraguay. They pasted Costa Rica. They drew Brazil. Looked a little bit human. I don't know if it's because they felt basically comfortable with their situation or Brazil just played really well. I think it's a mixture of both. But Brazil might start figuring things out, or might be starting to figure things out. 5 points for Brazil. They advanced. I had them advancing. I didn't think Costa Rica would be that close. So it's a testament that Costa Rica got that close. So 5-3 on the predictions that matter on the group stage. 5 teams advanced, and I had advancing, 3 didn't. 3 I was wrong on. Brazil, good tournament. They got a win over Paraguay. They drew Costa Rica and Colombia, but 5 points is enough to get out of the group. And they played really well against Colombia. That Costa Rica game was sort of a screw job by the ref trying to make a point, and they just didn't finish. But there you go. Costa Rica, 4 points. They beat Paraguay. They drew Brazil. That's some pretty good results for Costa Rica. Hey, you got something to build on, Alfaro. You got something to build on with your new era. That's a good thing. Paraguay, 0 points. And Ciso and Almiron don't do nothing. Well, they almost got a point because of Enciso in the first match, to be honest. He almost single-handedly got him a point. Fair enough. But there you go. 5 right. Teams advancing, 3 wrong, which is what really matters. That's not bad. There's always upsets. That's not bad. Quarterfinals, Argentina versus Ecuador. Now on to the predictions. Quarterfinals, Argentina versus Ecuador. I got Argentina winning. They're still the favorite to win this tournament in my book. I think they are going to push forward and step up and be like, we're going to be better. We're going to be a more unbeatable team, a tougher side as this tournament moves. We just got the results we needed in the group stage. Now we have to play like it matters even more. And I think that's what they'll do. And Ecuador, they're not a bad team, but if you shut down Valencia and you shut down Moises Caicedo, which I think Argentina can do very well, I don't see how Ecuador can even get to a shootout. Let's also remember, after 90 minutes, they go straight to a shootout, except for the final. Then the final has extra time. But everything up until the final is straight to penalties after stoppage time in the second half. But Argentina should win this game. Point blank, period. I don't see why not. I don't see why they shouldn't win this game. If they don't, whether it's in 90 minutes or on penalties and they get eliminated, that is an absolute farce or an absolute failure for Argentina. I would say Canada probably has a better chance to eliminate them, or even Venezuela, than Ecuador. That's not putting anything out as, hey, here's what I'm going to say. I'm just saying I think there's a better chance. If so, right, Canada or Venezuela, or, well, one of them will play them, but one of those two have a better chance than Ecuador. Argentina moves through. Venezuela versus Canada. For me, I think it's going to be a very open game. I think the game state's going to favor Canada, unlike the Peru or Chile games. And Venezuela's a beatable team, unlike Argentina. I think this will be more like the Argentina game, at least attacking-wise, for Canada. I think they'll be very motivated as well. I think both teams will be very motivated. I think it's going to be a barn burner, this game. And I think both teams will play very well. I think both teams will have their moments, and I think both teams will show that they can win a match of this caliber. But I think Canada gets it done. I think Maxime Crépeau stands on his head once again. I think Jonathan David gets a goal. I think Davies gets a goal. And I think Schaffelberg gets a goal. And I think Canada wins 3-2. I think it's going to be a roller coaster. But I think Canada, in the end, will win 3-2 over Venezuela, and they will move on to the semifinals of the Copa América. Colombia versus Panama. Yeah, it is Colombia versus Panama. Weird. Colombia, hands down. You don't even have to ask me. Colombia, hands down over Panama. Brazil's getting the short straw out of all these games, to be totally honest. But Panama, this is house money for them. playing Colombia. Colombia has a 26-game unbeaten streak. Why would it end to Panama? If Brazil couldn't end it, why would Panama end it? Right? Colombia moves through. Uruguay versus Brazil. For me, Uruguay's on fire right now. Brazil might start figuring things out, but they will not have Vinicius Jr. in this match. And let's be totally honest. Uruguay's Uruguay right now. So, Uruguay moves through. I don't think I really have to define that one much. Uruguay goes to the semifinals. Argentina versus Canada. I want to say it, but I won't. Argentina advances. Argentina beats Canada for the second time in this tournament in the past month. I want to say Canada learned something from that game. I bet they did. But there's no damn way. There's none. There's zero way. There's zero. Like, maybe a penalty shootout. And I'll be over the moon if it happens. I want Canada to win. I know damn well they probably won't. Even if it's a penalty shootout. Because Emi Martinez is also good at those. Argentina to the final. Argentina to the final. I hate doing it, but it's true. Hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Uruguay versus Colombia. For me, this is a big one. This is a clash of the Titans, in my opinion. This is one where I'm not saying it's the real final because Argentina is on the other side of the bracket. If it's Canada, it probably is the real final. I'll be honest. But this one's going to be a barn burner. And I will do a double for it when Toronto plays Forge as well. So, the first leg of that. So, you got the first leg of the Canadian Championship semifinal and Uruguay-Colombia as a double live in review. You're welcome. No doubles on Saturday, though. Because you're getting that double. But with that being said, for me, I'm going Uruguay. I'm going Uruguay. I think they're the better team right now. I think they're the better attacking team. I think they have more firepower as we speak. I think Bielsa's a better manager than Lorenzo. I think Uruguay has every point. You could point to a team and say, hey, they're the better team in X, Y, Z. That would be Uruguay, in my opinion. A 27-game unbeaten streak has to end at some point. It's still an amazing accomplishment. And technically it would still be an unbeaten streak if they lose on penalties, but whatever. Uruguay is, I think they have everything compared to Colombia. Just barely have everything. Uruguay to the final. Third place, Canada versus Colombia. If Colombia loses, they're going to bounce back. Let's just be completely honest. I think Colombia wins the third place match. Not because Canada doesn't want to win it, but because they're going to bounce back. In Canada, I just think that might be another bridge too far against Colombia. Canada loses. Colombia's third place bronze medal team. The final, Argentina versus Uruguay. This prediction might change. I stuck with Argentina. Or I picked Argentina to start. It was Argentina versus Uruguay. I'm going to stick with Argentina as we speak. Now, if they get eliminated, of course I have to change the prediction. But whatever I see through the two quarterfinal and semifinal, plus the group stage matchups, if they keep playing the way they have and look a bit lackadaisical, I might have to change the prediction. But right now, I do think Argentina will wake up in the knockout stage. I think they will play better football in the knockout stage. And I think they will play more intensely throughout the knockout stage. And I still think Argentina has a better team on paper than Uruguay while they play intently. So I have Argentina winning the final of the Copa America, going back-to-back and taking the most Copas in history. They're tied with Uruguay as we speak. If that final happens, there will be one king. There will be one king. But Argentina, in my book, as of now, will still be that king. That can change in 2 weeks, but right now, they are the king. They still will be the king, and they still are the king in my book. The podium, first place, Argentina. Silver medal, second place Uruguay, third place Colombia, Canada fourth. But hey, at least they're on the podium. That barely happens. You know, but with that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribe. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. But it's a playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you at 6:25 for Toronto FC versus Orlando City SC live and review. Of course, the review's after the game. But I will see you at 6:25 to start that live stream. I'll see you then. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. Let's have some fun. And Copa starts, quarterfinals start tomorrow. So you ain't got much time to wait to see if these predictions pan out. It's going to be over before you know it. But the best summer ever still rolls. Peace.